Let's get the intro one more time, though.
Against my better judgment, I shall tell you a secret. All the world hails me as Emperor and God, but I still wear the flesh of a man. I'm getting on in years, and the supreme power weighs heavier each day. I wish to be one of the few emperors in Rome's long history to enter a peaceful and voluntary retirement. The lack of a natural-born heir is the only barrier to my plan. Every patrician in Rome would quickly offer himself as my successor, but the more avidly they want it, the less suited they are for such power. You alone have shown the ability and the devotion to govern in my place. I have one last assignment for you. The ultimate test of your governing skills. You will build a glorious city in Massilia, a province with little farmland, meager resources and some armed resistance. Local Gauls are again fighting Roman rule. Some barbarians never learn. You must achieve very high ratings to show yourself worthy of the ultimate promotion. Build an extremely prosperous city that rivals Rome in culture, and earn high favor with me. Use all your talent to make Massilia your crowning achievement, and I will overlook the differences that you and I have had in the past.
All his pa?
I am weary. Do not disappoint me now with the final prize in your sight.
Okay. More modest pop, but this is also a smaller map. Very high prosperity, pretty high favor, culture, peace. Pause. Now, it said there are locals. I don't know where they're coming from, so we should avoid the edge of the map for now. This is attempt 1. We will purchase the right to sell fish and furniture. I wouldn't mind import-exporting pottery. Eventually. And these guys also buy fish. And I guess I could sell some fruit. Why not? This island is farmland. Is there any farmland inland? I don't see any yellow tufts, but I was hoping that I'm just blind. Yeah, the islands are. So probably fishies. Do fishing. We could turn this into import-export land. I'd need a bridge, mind you. I kind of don't want to use up coast that could be a fishing ship. So I want a bit of coast that only has like one, probably. Alas. Well, that could do it. Yeah, it looks like no matter where, it's going to use up somewhere that could be a fishing ship spot. I like there. And now what do we actually want? We wanted vegetables. We wanted fruit, fish, fruit and fish for over here. There's kind of okay. It does put it a little far to the left of map than I'd like. Maybe over there. The other two are overland, so it doesn't really matter. Well, actually, there's also fish overland. But let's assume that it's going to prioritize the You think I like the new Pharaoh? Maybe. Maybe. I think these have to go. Not that there's any fish really near here, but it is also just meant to be a bit of export money. So that, and how many? Up to 4 fruit farms or something. Oh wow, it's even more limited in where you can place the farms on here than I thought maybe the whole island, but nope. That's a firm nope. And the sheepies are in the way a bit. Naughty sheep. Well, let's give it a road. It's definitely going to want to not blow up. And we are central type land again, because we got sheep. So I do need buildings no blow up building. We're going to want 1 for fish and 1 for fruit. We're going to want a little bit of slum land. Whoa, that game speed. Let's drop that down. I was shocked. Warehouse, yes. Okay. Let me start looping that around to get our fruit. So it was up to 4. And I'm an idiot because that needs to be offset by 1. If I want to do the loop like this. There we go. Alright, and we have export industry number 1. Accept fruit. Accept fish. And then get them out of here. We could also export, wasn't it, furniture? Yes, furniture overland. So let's set up a furniture. Given that these are here, we'd kind of like to set up our furniture production right near the edge. But I also suspect that might be near the enemies. So we're gonna live dangerously. Yes, I don't know where all the enemies spawn for this map yet. And how many? 25. Also wouldn't mind some furniture for ourselves, / maybe stockpiling for Caesar. If we're able to produce it, he might well ask for it. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Safe. It'll definitely want a warehouse to export with. Make it at least 2 wide. Multiples of 2 long. Lovely. And then this can touch part of slum. So how will we do it? We'll do a horizontal slum? We'll do a horizontal slum. Let's not forget the gods. We wouldn't want to forget the gods on Massilia. Oh, I stuffed up once. We need to remake Mars. Back up to full speed. Remake Mars. See if that's enough people. Make sure that we turn down our own wage to a much more modest salary. I can give all this to the city. That can actually really help us get started. Pay slightly above the room wage and turn down the tax. See if this is enough people. It almost certainly won't be. You accept furniture and become the trade center. Well, I'm sure the boats will realize that's where they get stuff. This loop needs its no burn down and prefecture. There we go. And the question is, how many more lines of slums do we need? Probably one more line of slums. And then we could add in a pottery loop too. Begin the import-export of pottery. So import export of pottery and probably troop production. Will mean we need to extend the slum just a little bit. Two javelins seems a reasonable starting point. This needs its no blow up. And then we want to make some pottery. So we say we accept the importing of clay. Accept the export of pottery. And then we see how many people worth of that we can manage with our new slum. Well, we can at least manage a couple. Start with 4. Looks like we can probably have about 2 more. Let's think about this. That's 10, 20, 30. How much are they willing to purchase? Yeah, 30 is enough to have us a little bit spare gather up. They drop off a whole bunch of clay. I forgot to build a house over here. No, I didn't. Oh! Does this not have a connection out to Rome? Well, we're gonna need to rebuild some of this. Rip. Yeah, there was no connection out to Rome. So I built the bridge, but I didn't cut through the trees. That's my bad. Yeah, I know. It sucks. Wait for the new people to come in. Everything is on fire! So, new fruit farm, dock, wharf, and in a sec, shipyard. Let's not put it next to the ones that's on fire still. Let's try this again. So dock. Shipyard. Wharf. Wharf. Prefecture. Now I should be able to refill those. Not. And I built that one slightly in the wrong place. There we go. Okay. Eight, 16, 24. 24 is just about the right amount. Maybe the littlest bit more. Now there should be a tiny excess. And maybe I should have two. Otherwise, it looks like we're going to be too full on clay. So one just for clay. Actually, we should do it the other way around. We should have the one that accepts the potter would be the one that's closer to the road. You can accept the clay. I guess I'll try to empty this. Yeah, lovely. Cool. We could also accept some weapons and have real units. Probably some real units on the last map isn't too unreasonable. Open up that last trade route. I don't know where the baddies come from, but I'll keep the legionaries in a fairly central location. One horsey and one more javelin, I think. And that way this covers here, these two cover here, and these two cover here. Hopefully they just don't spawn right there. Hopefully, hopefully. Alright, next. If our export industries are up and happily running, and they certainly are, I could think about non-export this, or maybe increase it just one more so that it, well, are we exceeding demands? Okay, so we're stockpiling whilst we're doing this, so this is fine. We don't need to add more there. We probably look at adding tons of fishing. Or we could start adding import-export of olives. Or we could just stockpile them. There. And I'd rather avoid temple spam. This map looks kind of a bit space tight. And oracles are just more convenient than having to have hundreds of these. So if we're going to do that, we want yet another loop, sort of not too far from the entrance. Or was that trade by sea? No, that is land trade. So chuck that one there. Accept the import of olives. And maybe just start with a low production rate. Yeah, that seems fine. Now food. Food, 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 food. How the heck do you get over to this food? You build a bridge over to that island, and then you come to here, right? That's how this works. With two giant bridges. No, I think there's got to be a way across this little island, surely. There. And then there. I mean, that's still a pretty big bridge. No, I think it's short bridge, short bridge, short bridge. Make sure that we have a road to Rome path this time, not the same mistake as at the start of the map. I think that will optimize the number of docks that I could build here. I don't want any furniture production here. But this is yes. Still, we're starting with fish. Actually, it looks like I could maybe have a slightly better location on my ship bridge. Okay, that can be Island 1. Say... Not quite sure how many granaries we're going to end up needing to fetch. Like, this will probably produce an export to a granary here. Maybe 2. And then maybe fetch it to here, and then maybe fetch it to here, which is a lot of fetching. It's a bit ugly, but it'll have to do. So 1 there is pretty much a certainty. And then 1, 2. But for the moment, just the 1 will do. Meat. Make sure everything is engineered and prefectured. And has some workforce. I should probably give these guys a bit of a well as well. That is awkward. But I think between these two we should be alright. And then we fetch it over to this side. Now how close to the coast do I put it? Probably right as close as we can. For the moment, this can be fish getting 1. And then we can have a little bit of a real loop. Well, a little bit of a real housing block. 1, 2, 3 leaves a second type. 1, 2, 3 leaves a third getting granary. 2 space. 3 is warehouse and warehouse. And then that can be the gatehouse. that one can stay, but this one can go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they're going to need water. Very good. Give that a couple of secs. Then fountains. That looks like it'll do. And then houses. Buildings no fall down, etc., in here. So, doctor, engineer post, prefecture. That looks good. Let this fill in. And then see how short, if any, we are on populace. We also need to accept the finished oil. Population is a bit high. We need to institute a second set of temples. So that can be a little local furniture production. Just enough to keep this loop in furniture. Should maybe have made it one wider. Don't want these things blowing up. Okay. Definitely need to connect here to here. Give them their market ladies. Give them a basic god, and we also needed more of their gods anyway. Just to keep them happy, because we've gone up to over 700 and a bit population. Plaza this up. Looks like it kind of wants me to have a couple more people over here. Although actually that's probably just total population now that I think about it. Let's not do that. Minimize our ugly tents. See if once this fills in, it gets better. Come here, and then the market ladies collect that. And they deliver the food to all this. We would want to tax them eventually. Better to do it now before I forget. You know what? You can accept the marble. Did I not say to import the weapons? No, I did. It just feels like they're not actually using the weapons to, produce any legionaries yet. Rome pays a bit more. We do the same. And now that we have some unemployment, we can start killing off the true slums. Really? But you should be happy. I built a second set of these. Oh, it's just Stormy Seas, not God Stormy Seas. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Apparently this prefecture isn't quite doing its job. Well, we can have another. No such thing as too much overkill. And then maybe goodbye most of this one. Perfect. They want some prettiness. They can have some prettiness. Hey-oo, Synthropy, declare war on Rome. No, 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 we need a huge amount of favor this map, 85. We do not want to be fighting the boys in blue. There. You should all have no excuse to claim the world is an ugly place now. And then they should be fine here because we aren't going to give them pottery and we aren't going to give them a bathhouse. Don't quite know why they're saying those ones don't have religious access. There we go. Slum no more. Slum no more. But we need new things for these people to do. So maybe getting onto farming this. Or farming over here. What are we going to want eventually? We're going to eventually want some wine. So we could have a look at making some vines. And some wines. Beware of the dinosaurs. I will keep my eye out for dinosaurs, I promise. Three seems reasonable. Maybe add in one more? Then we need to squish them into wine. Make sure that this has workforce and doesn't explode. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty safe. sheepies are in the way again. One more pair. We might actually send our units to kill the sheep. Sheep murderer. Yep. Sheep murderer. Done. One, two, three, four, which matches our 4 wineries. What am I missing with that? Was that meant to export? No, they're just not transporting enough onto the ships. Okay, Walker Labour Access should start realizing it has access to all of this.
I can't wait to do some trading here. I love a good deal. Dockers are collecting some goods we're buying from a warehouse.
Really? But there's a thing here. Okay. You two go away. Get rid of you entirely. You're gonna mess up. I don't want to put gardens there because it will confuse the walkers. So instead we use statue. Timber. Okay, we might stockpile some of that. The legionaries are still not built. Which is surprising, because I really have told it to purchase those weapons. Import. Do. You know what? I'll even tell it to stockpile. We'll tell it to accept in 2 locations. Maybe try and force it to be sensible. Okay, that's gone well enough. These can all return to their homes. No, something is going wrong with that engineering post. I guess we'll just have another. Tell it to rebuild. And if Caesar wants lumber, then lumber Caesar shall have. We reach 2k, which indicates that we should think about We should think about building even more temples. Yep. I might try and dial some of these back into oracles. Oh, is the issue that they're meant to come over by sea? No. Yes. Okay, the weapons are sold by sea and I'm an idiot. And the same for the, okay, so... this has to be fetch weapons. I suppose it could also be fetch weapons here. This is nothing for weapons. And it doesn't really matter where the marble sits. So accept the weapons and accept the marble. Good. Good, good, good. At least we have an explanation for why those legionaries can't be being built. Okay, let's spend some of that. But where? Here seems fine. You're out of marble. 1, 2, 3. Then I could start killing off like this one and this slum entirely. Okay. Say to stockpile wood for a little bit. Is that enough to... Yep, give Caesar his dispatch, done. Once that's full of wood, we'll turn off stockpiling. Caesar says thank you. Next what? Well, I was going to try and farm here and extract the food across to here. Under the logic that eventually here is probably the most reasonable place to turn into a medium level housing, if we're going to have any. We can't have olives, so the rest of this should all be food. But we do need some more different kinds of food. If we're going to have patricians. Well, we shouldn't worry about the patricians yet. Maybe just food along this coast and make another. No, but I need to absorb the employment, so we will do this. Let's just make that another fruit one. I think so. Is this the Roman name from the modern day of Marseille? I have no idea. Yeah, happy Yuletide, Galgamus. It was the day before Christmas, and all through the house. Give them some labor access. Make sure it all doesn't burn down. And then yoink the food across to over here. So this will get me fruit, and we can fish. But as for how I get enough wheat to here, that's a long way to be getting wheat. We might just lower the wine production. that is needed like that. Okay, so that gets a little bit of wheat as well. One of you accepts only wheat. One of you accepts only fruit. And one of you accepts only fish. And then we'll get them across. They will need some not blowy uppiness. Although this could also be more fishing. Prefecture engineer post. Give it a bit of workforce. Give them some water. Yup. And then maybe I have another normal housing block here, although if enemies spawn on this edge, I could end up a bit screwed by this. Well, I could build a normal housing block there. And then that space is patrician. Yeah, we'll see. At the very least, this is soaking up unemployment. I think some weapons should be ending up over here. If all of these are fetching... Why are these coming down here? To collect fish. Well, I definitely need some more work for my people to do. It is so far to be trying to bring more food.
No sign of crime around here.
I maybe stop doing the fish and food export here and move it to over here so that this can just be fetching money for patricians. You know what? That is enough of the oil and marble for now. We could turn our tax rate up to a modest rate. Okay, so how to do that? We want ship bridge. Kind of got to be there. We're making that the new export point. It was going to be fish and fruit. I kind of prefer there. And then fruit. They're going to need a little bit of workforce. How many legions are you allowed to have? I think 6. Just based on the fact that this list, I don't think it scrolls. So we've got 2 legionaries, 2 javelins, or 3 javelins and a horsey. But because my weapons aren't fetching to over here, they import at the coast, and then they aren't fetching to over here, my legionaries aren't building. So I might actually move my unit training to over here. In any case, we're losing the extra farms here and converting them over to some wheat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus the fish should be all we need for the patricians. The other thing is I could move the unit production to over here. And then none of these need to fetch. Which they were refusing to do anyway, so no big loss. Was oil an overland exit? Or a... No. Oil is a sea trade and I'm not moving my oil down to the sea, so tough. Give it a sec to realize my barracks is dead. There we go, and now they're next to the weapons. You no longer accept this. They're gonna need their own little workforce and no buildings fall down or burn down. It also chews up our unemployed. Yes, so they didn't have enough things to rebel. You have to kowtow to Rome. How is that not working? Well, in any case, some more will stockpile. And if I'm getting told I've got too many people, I might just have to kill some of these off. Or add in some entertainment here. Some pointless entertainment, but it will soak up at least a little bit of the unemployment. And help with these guys not having entertainment that they claim. Maybe move that slum to here. Because I always just feel that 2x2 tents are a bit more effective at walkers claiming that they don't have low access. So you no longer accept this. You do accept those. Have I, like, told this to stockpile or something? Yes. Use the ones we've got. So that's probably what was going wrong before. They probably would have, fetched across the map if I hadn't told them to stockpile. So moving the military production to over here was a bit silly, but whatever. they're actually churning out legionaries now. You don't want everything connected because then people will get access to things that you don't want, Galgamus. So, like, eventually, I'm going to turn this into Patrician. A sort of shape that follows a bit of a horseshoe shape like that. And I want the Patricians to be the only ones that get the oil and all three kinds of these food, rather than giving extra different kinds of food to over here or over... Well, there is no other place at the moment. Only over there, because the extra food types could potentially, if you give other people access to things, they will A, use resources that you don't want them to use, but B, level up their building type and then start demanding more or overpopulate or cause supply issues where because they've leveled up, they house more people. They house more people, so they need more goods, and suddenly are not producing enough food to supply that area anymore. What the heck? No, 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 no. Meat, yes. Fruit, yes. And then... Trade center. Well, hopefully those go away. Otherwise they're just going to clog up that building for forever. You know what? Maybe stockpile this as well if it's causing us to not get the timber stockpile that we need for Caesar. Kill off all our notifications and see where the enemies are attacking. Get the horses over here as well. Oh, okay, get the other javelineers over here as well. Okay, we're safe. Yes, we're safe. Get back to your houses. Allow these imports again, at least until our legions are built. Kind of wishing we could export wine. But oh well. Yeah, they typically all spawn at one point, but you could spawn multiple things at a time, I think. I'm not a custom map making expert, but I think you could have one and then trigger another pretty much straight away. Oh, well there's the answer. This needs a slum. Because I killed off this slum, this zone isn't getting people. Herder. Herder. What an idiot I am. Yep, I know, I'm not giving you your... There. There we go, and then suddenly all these start chewing up population again. Good. If I'm going to build a second little castle land... No, I don't want to build it close to that border. I like the idea of kind of here. Or we could just do it along this coast a bit. Normally I build these squares, but there's nothing stopping me from having a little linear one that just follows this coast. Actually, we don't even need that. We can go straight into the granary. Leave space for 3 if we need it. God damn it. You gotta click really quickly or else it swivels. Okay. Now, I've got to be careful because our patrician block actually kind of wants to come fairly high. I might even do this way. Yeah, that should work fine. It needs water. It needs housing. Housing, 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 housing. Slightly more engineer posts than you'd maybe need. Never hurts. This only accepts fish. Fish! The fish of the day is trout a la creme. Nice, fairly symmetrical design. Market, market. Doctor. Engineer, engineer. Prefect, prefect. Slightly bonus doctor. Temple, temple. School, school. Library. Amphitheater actors. And then let that fill up. Plaza it up. Garden up the outside. Tap it for labor. Possibly at both ends. Yeah, I think at both ends. This needs its own little slum. If I move that one, then it can have the slum it needs. The people will be satisfied with only fish. The common man, a patrician cannot live on fish alone, but the common man can. Okay, back up to full speed. Let this fill up. Maybe grab the gardens. Go. They should all think the world is a beautiful place. I really do think if you click Plaza, it should just build road as well. They'd want a normal theatre as well. Have we stockpiled enough wood to send to Caesar yet? No. How have we not done that? Because we've got too much unemployment. Under supply of labour. There is a labour shortage. Do the ones that we can't do with gardens with the statues. And these should all fill up and our underemployment issue should go away, or our under labour supply issue should go away. actually. I never connected that one up, so it burns down. Whoops! Whoops. Yeah, let that fill up, and then we'll let the timber or the furniture... Actually, if we've done that for the moment, I want money, because I'm a little bit worried about our money situation. So you know what? Industry, you may return to being used. You may return to being used. We want a tax office in here. We're definitely still good for gods. In fact, if anything, I could get rid of these ones. And maybe check that the others aren't getting pissed because I've got like 100 million to one and none to the other. They're a jealous lot. Yeah, there we go. Now I only slightly favour Neptune. And we've got enough for about 4,000 people. And we're not at 4,000 population yet. There's maybe a case to be made for putting the granary here and fetching that tiny distance just so that these ones don't have to walk so far. Or maybe putting it here and they just walk here and it fetches to there. Because as it stands, I think this one waits for its cart pusher to come back rather than returning to work. Yeah. Yep. So that can go away. Not the right position. Try again. This one can accept. And then this one can fetch. And then let's look at this. So when this fishing boat comes back here, his cart pusher should jump out to this direction. And then come back. Yeah, that's much better. Then the only question is, can this one cart pusher keep up with extracting the rest of those fish across to here? So can the southern granary, well, can the northern granary, the one in the middle of the screen, keep up with extracting the fish from the southern granary? Hopefully, yes. We have unemployment again, so we need to set some work up. It's probably about the right time to increase oil production. That will soak up at least a little bit. Kind of looks like maybe I need to accept them over here and fetch to the other side. Which would be a little bit awkward, but whatever. No, I don't want to do that. Either they deliver to the right place or they don't. Deal with it. We're certainly oversupplying fruit here. So I could put a fruit granary, and then a fruit granary here, and build another loop. It depends on the map, Galgamus. So this map wants you to, it's the like final of the economic maps, as opposed to the military maps. So it's really focusing on pushing you to import basic product, do the refining, so clay to pottery, oil to olives to oil, etc., and then export the finished product. Morning, Baron. So like there's no clay here, and there's no ability to make olives, and yet we definitely are exporting, or at least trying to export pottery. Doesn't look like we're succeeding very well. But it is there. I need something to do with my employment. We are making cash, so maybe it's time to set up that patrician block. Maybe one more width. And then as for how long we make it, these are going to be maximum size ones. So it is... In the previous map we were just going for one small gap one, but this one we're going for 4x4s, which means you need 3 of these across. And then the trouble is it's not gridded. So you've got to really do your work to make. And actually I'm still in 3x3 mode. No, I'm in the correct mode. Good. And then big statues. And then small statue array. Space for a fountain. The big statues. The market, yeah, X marks the spot. Water is the treasure. Ah, sweet water, nectar of the gods. Okay, and then it's time for the last house block. Something like that. We may end up coming up to have space for the hippodrome. then in our head, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that I think about it, I don't know where the final... I guess that has to be the final fountain point. And then you go triple big statue again and we're done. Chuck down the base housing for each zone. That's not quite right, but whatever. Make sure these guys have the water they need. Do I do it from the other side instead? No. Though I might encroach a little bit closer to inside these gardens. Oh, maybe we can make that work. Oh, actually I'm going to have to, otherwise how do I provide baths over here? Yep. I'm an idiot. And ignore that little pointless square. We're not having an Escher's aqueduct. Something like that. That should ensure that we can have a bath on this side as well. Okay, fountains. Let that exist. Looks good. And then we need our fetching warehouses. I probably need another line of that over to here to provide food to there. How am I gonna have... How do I have the granaries on both sides on this one? Maybe I have this branch down this way? The problem is then I can't do forced walking on the entertainers. Well, we'll work that out when we get there. Market. This one fetches the most needed good, pottery. The next one fetches the next most needed good, furniture. You fetch wine. We're also going to need oil over here. Start giving them all their services. At least one side should be happy. And actually, I should probably trade the library with the school, because the schools are notoriously crappy at spread. Whereas the library will spread a bit better. We want a tax office on each side, no questions. We absolutely want to tax these guys. I could even build the big-ass tax thing, because that's a pretty building. People like living near this. At least I think they do. Could be wrong. We've done those ones, so we need Dr. Barber. We don't want things blowing up. Slightly more wouldn't hurt. So those, then what? Entertainment. Now's when I find out that reservoir conflicts with my hippodrome dreams. Yes. Yes, it does. But we could put the hippodrome on the bottom face. Then it doesn't conflict with my hippodrome dreams. That said, we can't really afford to build the hippodrome at the moment, so we'll do the other things. So that is amphitheater, Colosseum, normal theater, and then we got to produce the things that produce the walkers over here. So, lion. I want to be a lion tamer. Gladiator. And chariot maker. And actor school. Even though you can put the actor colony over here because it's a pretty building. They might need a little slum to power all this, so I actually should have put these slightly further up. Or I could tap this labor to power that. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. There we go. That minimizes the number of slum-type buildings we need. Then I didn't need to move these. Oh well. Senate does have positive desirability? Good, I thought so. I know that well, I know that the governor's things do. Okay, and then we want to do this side services, so this leads to the question of how do I supply the market ladies here? Because otherwise they're going to be walking all the way around to these granaries. And if I connect these granaries up to a second side here, the entertainment walkers will just go straight there. Well, let's give it some time. Over here we need Dr. Barber. Yes. Yes. Bathhouse. School. Library. Academy. I forgot hospital because I'm an idiot. Okay, and then that might be about it. Bath, Doctor, Barber, Hospital, tick. Academy. And let's give that a go. This might need a little slum to power it. And then let's just be extra sure that this isn't going to burn down. God damn it. Well, hopefully we can get in their way enough. No! Hopefully that didn't hurt peace too much. It's only 2 buildings. And this is really just, do you know the map? Because once you know where the enemies spawn, you can next time choose to build wherever they aren't. So I know not to build down here next time. Thank you, Sayuza. Thank you for the raid, thank you for the host. Those of you just joining, we are attempting to play through, for the first time for me, C3, Caesar 3. And I'm on the very last campaign map for the peaceful mission path. Warehouse. Store timber. And what else did we lose? We must have lost something else. Because there were 2 buildings. Oh, it was the prefecture and engineer post. Then we should be good. Hey, Nicholas. It's a small world after all. Oof. Well, we could consider moving the warehouse down to this corner. And then that gets rid of that one. I could slightly lengthen the loop to try to move a little bit further away from their map edge. We need our slum. And actually, if I made this touch this slum, then I could get 2-for-1 slum value. It's one of 2 ways for a fort to be destroyed. And then I was was going to move these two down this edge. So that if the enemies do spawn in here again, hopefully they ignore us for long enough that we can accept timber. There we go. Keep them busy. The fetching appears to... The Emperor requests an army. Now, I do not know how big an army you have to send him for the various size things. We're gonna have to restore up the timber. Have we at least told it to stockpile? Please do. A small force. I'm going to assume that one legionary and one javelin is enough. Hopefully it is. No, I'm happy to, you know, now that I've made a decision, you can tell me. It's not spoiling my decision-making process now. Is a legionary enough to be small? Or is it like 2 javelins or 1 legionary to a small? What are the numbers? I don't know. I may have just made a poor decision because I'm literally still learning the game. Or at least learning parts of it. This is my punishment for doing the peaceful campaign first. Okay, so what do you want? You're saying you don't have water. Okay, there. You have water. Now what? You need food. Well, the market ladies should be collecting food and delivering food up here. Doesn't have religion. An academy trade unit will cover a good. We need 1 to Venus. Everyone but Neptune. So, Ceres, yes. Neptune, no. Mercury, yes. Mars, yes. Venus, yes. And I still kind of need 2 more. If we're going to get attacked again, I'd probably prefer Mars's blessing out of everyone's, so I'll do an extra Mars. Is that not registering? Yeah, it doesn't have access to employees yet. Give it a sec. You haven't sent me my timber! I'm working on it, Caesar. Some barbarians stole all our timber by breaking the building. Oh, this is claiming it doesn't have employee access. And then I stare at it, and that makes it realize that it does have employee access. It needs furniture. Well, the market ladies should deliver some furniture. It looks like I might need a second set of getting warehouses over here. For the pottery and oil and furniture. Make sure these don't blow up either. At least the wine is piling up nicely. They're not going to want for wine. It needs supplies of wine, he says as he's saying, oh, there's easily enough wine. It's just that they hadn't upgraded before, and so they hadn't stockpiled the good yet. Let's try if the market ladies on the other side will do what I want. But I suspect it might be slightly too far away for them to reach. Thank you. Dispatch that timber. We can probably speed back up. Caesar thanks us for the timber. Are these guys failing to have access to labor? No, they're succeeding. Give me some vines. Oh no. You may accept vines. And stockpile some vines. Although, I probably won't. Well, yeah, I should say to stockpile them. I no longer need to stockpile the wood. Do stockpile the vines, though. We've easily got enough saved up wine that that's not a problem. I could put granary, 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 and tell them to fetch, fetch, fetch. It's probably better them doing that than the market ladies. So that the market ladies only have to walk a long way to get the fancy goods. Yeah, Galgamus. If you make the Emperor angry enough, then he sends the coppers after you, the boys in blue. Whereas our units are red coloured. When Caesar sends his units, they're just blue colour swap. And you can... He sends a lot of units, so it's tough to fight him off. It is a bit tough to fight him off, compared to just the little barbarian attacks that we're getting. They're certainly a lot stronger. There we go, Mars Blessing. So if we do get attacked, he should help us smite our enemies. I need one more to Venus. Is it not pretty enough for these ones? It needs more wine. I don't think we have access to a second type of wine on this map. Do we? We do. We need to import this wine. Which means this is now going to have to accept wine. Do I make another... I probably just make another warehouse down here, honestly. And that can be the... Swap them around. You can be the vines for the moment. And then you can be the other type of wine. that means that I need to have perhaps these accept wine as well, because I don't know how it will mix. Does it... This is something I don't know, Baron. Does it actually manually keep track of which wine is which wine type? Like, if I import wine, will these ones suddenly count as delivering 2 types of wine? Or do I have to move the second type of wine over here? Oh, well, that filled up a lot quicker than I thought it would. Maybe because we were overproducing the food, and so the cart pushes from the source were actually going to here. You know what? You can also do fetch oil. Ah, the second that I import a wine type, it counts as both. Excellent. We can cheese the system a bit. Now what I'll actually do is change this to be like this. Kill off this connection. These 3 can do wine, furniture, pottery, and oil for that side. And these ones can do furniture, wine, pottery, and oil for this side. Or I could just add in an extra warehouse and not be cheap. That would work too. I don't need a 4th one on that side, it already has it, I'm an idiot. But you don't need to be separate for that. And instead, this guy can just be wine. Make sure that this has anti-building blow-up buildings. It will probably need some slum access. Just tell the patricians, of course this is a fine wine. Can't you tell the difference? And then the snobs say, oh, of course it's a fine wine, I can tell that. The bouquet, etc., etc. You can taste the tannins. Yeah, look, the market ladies are already happier. Send him his vines. I should no longer need to stockpile the vines. Use them up. We're definitely making money. I was a little bit worried that importing some of these things would be causing us problems. It's not pretty enough for you. More statues. Oops. Not what I intended. Is that enough? Well, it certainly seemed to help. It Needs the market ladies to pick up and deliver the third type of food. I could also plaza. I've been an idiot by not doing that so far. Plaza, done. I mean, you probably want access to 2 types. I don't think I want to be denied access to wood and clay and olives. That would be rough. 1 of them, 2 of them even, maybe. But if I was denied all 3, that would start getting a bit taxing on ye old import industry. Okay, so what's wrong with you now? Not enough entertainment. Really? Oh, I haven't got the hippodrome up and running. True. True that. We are without hippos. Let there be hippos. And suddenly they say, "Oh yes, a hippodrome. We love the hippodrome." So what's wrong with you? Still not pretty enough. They're too near this reservoir. Can I spam out some more little statues to change your mind? Gratitude. Caesar sends materials to help us build a triumphal arc. If these 2 are complaining about ugliness, I assume a triumphal arc is even prettier than a big statue. I don't know. Well, it seemed to have worked. I built it and then the building immediately upgraded. Could I move the water fountain 1 further back, the reservoir? I think I could if I'm willing to cut into this garden. And it has better range. Okay, it's both prettier and has better range. You happier now? Come on, the reservoir's slightly further away. I can remove that and replace it with a 2x2 one. But beyond that, we're sort of stuck. There is no more space to be had over here. Well, it looks like one just has to live at a large palace level. Okay, is that enough to drag our prosperity up? We need 85. Let's do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 9 ultimate palaces and 1 slightly... Move the stool. I could move the hospital down here a bit. But I'm not too bothered about it at the moment. I'd rather try and work out how much more I need. So we will jump over to the CK3 spreadsheet. Not CK. Caesar 3 spreadsheet. And have a look at what we need. then we share that one. Oh, we share that one once I move OBS over, so that we don't get infinite loop back. Oh, now it's being stupid. Kind of. We can do that. Okay. So we've got... one of these, 9 of these, 0 of this, and my total population is sitting at about 4,000. I know everyone is in what kind of crappy house? Pretty much everyone is in small casa. And we're at about 4,000 population. There probably is 10 tiny tents. So we're something like that. Maybe 36. 30? We're probably something like this, which in theory has 800 prosperity. Okay, so we're super set for prosperity. What if we up this towards the number we need? We need about 8,000 total population. So if I was instead having 80 of these, 90 of these. Oh, not 0. 100 of these, 120 of these. Prosperity's still super good. So as long as we've got that patrician block set up, it looks like we're ultra set for our prosperity needs. Let's not infinite loop. And let me fix up things on my side so that I can see everything. And we can get back to it. Okay. So it doesn't really matter that that one is slightly less than maximum level. We just need to spam out some more houses. Slash get these ones to level up by giving them pottery. Luxury palaces are just that strong. They must be. Let's make sure there are walkthrough paths through this. I guess there. And where can we possibly supply more food? I don't really want them eating the 3 types of food here. I guess I try and harvest this coastline for food and just build here and hope that the enemy doesn't attack from here. I suppose I could actually build some wall if I really cared. Seems like the reasonable location to have the granary. You accept fish. We don't want anything blowing up. Hopefully those tents reach, and if not, we'll just tap the new zone. Actually, yeah, that's the answer. We just tap the new zone for that labor. Gatehouse. wide. 20-ish long. Housing. Fill this in. I'm assuming the 2 reservoirs just cover what I need. I mean, entirely planned. Market lady, market lady. What time is it? It's about 11 at night in middle Australia time zone. We have 3 time zones. We're a very wide country. Side to side. So Perth, the westmost capital city, and Sydney, the eastmost capital city, are further apart than London and Moscow. Europe is tiny. Sure. Let's check what we built. Yes, yes. This doctor. And we don't just take the China approach of saying, despite the fact that we're wide, 1 time zone, and make life confusing for the poor people that live there. Yeah, but that's just different states doing different half-hour offsets on their daylight savings time, which is silly. There's really 3 time zones. Bath. Theatre. School. Library. At least access to 1 god. And I kind of want to make that be Venus. Have a look at that. Tap this for labor. Or actually, we'll do it a different way. We'll do it that way. Plaza this up. Give them their pretty gardens. At least as far as we're allowed. Without it interfering with our walkers. So something like that. Yeah, my personal time zone is 30 minutes off of everyone else's, which confuses people sometimes. To some of the Euro peoples and the Americans, it's like, what? How are you half an hour off of the normal time? So check water. Water, yes. I might need 1 more market. Theatre. I might just amphitheatre the corner. Damn it. Screwed up. Try again. Or be lazy and just give them a Colosseum. Where's this? So this must not be coming up this way. So what we'll do is we'll put the engineer post and the prefecture on that side of the granary and see if that helps. Hopefully, yes. You've reached 5,000 persons. Do we have enough oracles for that many people? We've got 3, 4.5. Nope, we need to spam out some more oracles. Yes, Woolly Mammoth, this is our first attempt. I have not died on this map yet. Well, that gets us a little bit more. 6 is 3,000, 4,000. Nope, I'll probably just turn on the marble imports again, because I don't want to build 800 million different types of temple. This is easier. Okay, this does look okay. Fill in all the rest of the holes with extra little houses. Same with this one. Maybe this one, we'll see. Once I see one of these upgrade to a casa, I'll be okay with doing that. Until then, I'll assume I've forgotten something. Good night, Woolly Mammoth, and thank you. Cheers for hanging out, mate. Okay, they have started to evolving into this, so I can happily fill in the rest of the inside with extra houses. And there's nothing to stop us allowing these two to touch. It's not like we're producing 4 types of different food that we care about them not delivering the fish here. If we have to, we'll have this one fetch from over here, from Fish Island. But hopefully the fishing things just deliver here. Yeah, there's a great big fish delivery. Boom! And then the market ladies all sprint over here to harvest that fish. We've almost got our under labor force issue dealt with. Market ladies don't seem to be reaching. Oh no, it's just that they had to do enough deliveries. I was going to say they don't seem to be reaching this side. What's wrong with you? Oh, it is a small casa. Well, that one's a hobble. Baddies over here. Quickly. Yeah, the first feeding, because it's a lot of work to get them stocked up to begin with. Why did that sound like building is destroyed? Let's get rid of all these. I really wish there was just an erase all. What's happened? Something weird has happened there. Whatever. Apparently these are not getting engineered and prefixtured enough. And it might be just slightly easier to move our hopper to there, rather than waiting for this to finish burning down. And Mars finishes them off. Okay, we look safe. Everyone return home. Blow that up. This edge might need it as well. And it's not like I don't have unemployed people, so we can happily waste some people being excess engineers. So this isn't quite enough, and we need some more employment. Well, we've got the cash, and we do need to raise our culture, so let's start employing people in the fine arts industry. That looks good. Well, I do still need a bit more population. We're probably going to have to build one more population center. But I don't want everyone refusing to immigrate or stay because we don't have enough employment. Also, I realized I didn't build a tax building here. Let us fix that oversight. Everyone must pay their taxes. Good. So that taps that for resources. Where else could we do? We could do tap here and make a loop there. But let's just see how many employment this sucks up. The answer is not very much. So we've done theatre, next we can do library and school. Damn it. There's school. How much employment does that suck up? Enough is the answer. So we can build... Oh, and it's also pushed our population above 7,000, so the... Oh no! What's going on? Needs more food deliveries? Yeah, okay, I'll accept that criticism. One of these theatres can go and be an extra market lady. Basically, when I filled in the gaps with extra housing, I didn't increase market lady supply enough to match that. We might get told the same criticism over here, though we'll see. Hopefully these loops are just that little bit smaller than this one that they manage without a third market lady. And if these are over full, I could maybe have one housing block that isn't really supposed to get multiple types of food, but which we will control via not giving God access and whatnot. Not giving bath and God and pottery. As long as I don't give a bath, they shouldn't, what's the level that I want them to not exceed? I want them to not exceed... large casa. So yeah, as long as I don't give them a bathhouse, they can have everything else and they won't absorb the resources I don't want them to. So build one more little housing zone over here. And that will probably take us above the 8,000. Now's when I find out that enemies also spawn here and crush my hopes and dreams. We could be obnoxious and build a bit of wall to cover that eventuality. There. They're going to need water, just not baths. And then rather than needing these, we can tap our new zone for labor. Something like that. And I've accidentally built it extra wide. Yeah. Oh well, worse things have happened. That means you can have an internal coliseum even. And it was everything except a bathhouse, so... Market. Doctor, engineer post, prefecture. Not bathhouse, but yes to school/library. Theatre. Have I forgotten anything? Food, water, God. God one time. So hello, Mercury. And I should probably spam out those oracles that I was importing the extra marble for before the gods. Yep, they're modestly displeased. Let's, pretty please change that to happy. And I don't want those burning down. That's 4,005 and a bit. So no, I still need more. How many more marble do I have? 0. Get to importing more marble, thank you. Yep, it says it's importing. I forgot a tax office over here. Plaza it up, make it pretty. Caesar wants some wine, we've got tons of wine. More wine than we know what to do with. You drink it. Drinking is what you do to wine. Maybe cook with it. There we go. The marble is accumulating again, so we can tap. Here, and turn this into a culture, little culture strip. Even a little bit. Did the ancient Romans cook with wine? I have no idea. I would assume so. Maybe it was too valuable a thing to use to cook. A little bit more marble. Is that enough to cover what we need? 8. Yep, that's enough to cover our 8,000, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. Favors max, prosperity's rising, culture's very nearly where it needs to be. Probably just a couple of academies and it would be happy. Yep, you have 2 few academies. Let these realize that they're manned. Maybe build one more because we've still got unemployment. 2 more. Absorb another little bit. And then we've got low enough unemployment that we can probably just speed up. So save game, test, do, speed up. As long as unemployment doesn't tick too high. And I could always absorb some more by just... What do I want to use to absorb some more? Come over here and maybe absorb some more into furniture works. go. Ooh. Oops. Please don't burn everything down. Slow down game speed. Rome pays a little bit more, so we have to too. And it kind of sucks that was one of our oracles. You guys could realize that you're employed any moment now, that would be nice. There we go. So I've got to rebuild 3 oracles. Rip, saved up. Marble. Back to high speed though, I think. Check how much our prosperity rises at the end of the year. So we're at 64. 72, although our culture dipped a sec. I probably need to spam out some more culture labor force absorption, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. What does the game want us to have? You have too few libraries. Sure thing. Let's not make the same mistake as we did with our oracles. Done. And that also brought unemployment to within the magic zone. He wants some timber, we can give him his timber. Prosperity of 72 becomes 81. You've reached 10,000. That's actually slightly worrying. I don't want population to be increasing that much. Ah. None of this. Slow right down. God damn you. See how much that hurt our peace rating at the end of the year, I guess. We don't really need as many of these anyway. Like, we're producing an excess of furniture. Speed back up. The enemies are all gone. Return to your homes. Speed back up. Rome pays more money, so we have to too. There we go, we've reached the prosperity rating, so it's just a case of let peace tick up, which we can do at the highest speed. He wants wine, give him it. Rome needs some more units. Average... No, don't dispatch no one. Dispatch legionary and 1 javelin, yes. What? But I have. Look, these 2 assigned to running away. Go. Okay. And that might let us build another triumphal arc, which will let us maybe force this one that was refusing to upgrade by replacing this central one with another triumphal arc. Let's just move the furniture production down to the bottom of the loop. So, 3 more years of peace and we're good. What? I should have sent a stronger force. Okay. Rip us. Does that make him pissed? Not pissed enough. And we complete his wine desire anyway, timber desire anyway. Does that mean we need to rebuild these though? It does, which sucks. Still, we've got enough saved up weapons that it's not that big a deal. And we're making money hand over fist. What's going on there? Oh, you can have an extra engineer post and a couple of prefixtures if you're actually catching on fire occasionally. We can get rid of that one that never got connected up to the system. Peaceful campaign victory. You get to watch the extremely high resolution video. You could count the pixels. Roll credits.
Congratulations. You have achieved the highest goals ever set to one of Rome's governors.
The text doesn't
I am
match.
proud to hand over to you. I decree that you be crowned Caesar, Emperor of all Rome. The whole empire is yours.
Well,
Last,
better than my
I
other
retire
times.
to my island villa, a private citizen once again. May your name forever join the pantheon of Rome's greatest rulers. Hail Caesar!
I'm probably pretty lucky that none of the bad guys spawn on that right edge, because if they had spawned on the right edge, it would have taken a fair bit while to get that peace rating up. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for hanging out. We're probably going to do the military campaign next, but not tonight because it's getting close towards midnight here. Is there anyone who